All right, that's a tough game today. Obviously, they really did a nice job of challenging you guys, but down the stretch, able to make a lot of plays. You were a big part of that. Your initial thoughts after the win that you guys were able to pull out today?
It was a real nitty-gritty win. Detroit Mercy is a real aggressive and up in your face type of team. I think that we made some decisions at halftime to change it up and be in gaps more and rebound the ball more, because towards the end we were giving up a lot of rebounds and stuff like that. But towards the end, I think that when the people's name were called on, we performed and we gave them all that we got.
You're a player, obviously, the last couple of years. It's really hard to look at your game and say, oh, you got to get better. You got to get better at this, get better at that. But man, through 2 games this year, your vision on the court has been really good. Tied your career high in assists in game 1, led the team again with 4 assists tonight. Is that something you really tried to improve on this season, to be more of a distributor when the time calls for it?
Yeah, I just try to play more with my teammates and look for them more often, because in turn it gets the game opened up. So first things first, I'm always looking for my teammates, trying to get them open and easy shots. And then in turn, it opens the game up more for me, because a lot of people try to scout and sit on me because I'm like the main player, but that's not the case here. We got a lot of people that can shoot the ball. So I get the ball where it needs to go. Inside game is always easy. So I give credit to my teammates for making shots and getting to their spots.
Most of your starting lineup had foul trouble tonight, especially down the end. You had down the stretch, you had to come back in with about 6 minutes on the clock with 4 fouls. Does that change your game at all, or are you confident enough in your aggressiveness to be able to continue to play how you were playing?
No, I'm very confident. I'm confident in my teammates too. We have a large roster, and when everybody's names get called on, I feel like everybody came in and gave the right amount of effort plays and stuff like that. So I knew that when my name would be called, come in and perform the same way, be there for my teammates, and be a big leader on the court.
Someone I know that both on the court and in your heart you were cheering for big time tonight was Anaya Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
How happy does it make you to see the success?
Real happy just to see her come off the bench and not worry about nothing, giving her all defensively, offensively, just scramming, you know what I'm saying, talking. Real big night for her to shoot the ball real well, just ready to see how high she can go with that.
You've played in games in your time here where, just like this one, 3 minutes left to go, really tight, could go either way. You've been on the wrong side of those. Tonight, it was your team that made every play down the stretch and really emerged. Is that something that you think this team has really addressed this year and that you are excited about this year?
Yes, in halftime, we talked about making those nitty-gritty plays, diving for the ball, getting those tough rebounds, you know what I'm saying, holding the ball when they're fouling you, going up to the free throw line, taking your time and making 2 free throws. So those really added up for us, and I think they were a big reason why we won this game tonight.
Why have you been so good in the second half this
year? I don't really know. I'm giving credit to my teammates, just because during first half, I get them their shots, they get open, you know what I'm saying, create for them, and it just opens the game up for me, and I'm able to eat more because they think I'm just going to be more passive again. But I give them most credit to my teammates.
Perfect. Thanks, Ari.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thanks.
Coach, that sigh of relief, very similar to the one Stan Heath took in that chair 24 hours ago. Your team able to come back from a game where Detroit Mercy really challenged you guys. But I know that you have to be proud of your team making the plays down the stretch to get this one done tonight.
No question. I mean, we made some effort plays that were just absolutely phenomenal, especially in the last 5 minutes of the game. You know, when it's crunch time. Sonaris Gaines dove out of bounds for a loose ball, and of course, it comes right to Ari, and the basketball gods reward us for the effort, and she bangs a 3 in. And then Ari dives for a loose ball. I mean, it looked like, you know, the type of effort that you want to see your team make, right? She goes head first for that loose ball and comes up with it. Big possessions late in game. So, and those are just 2 of the situations where we did a great job.
Yeah, Coach, so far through 2 games, your team has shot particularly well from 3-point, especially this game, shooting over 40%, which is higher than any 3-point game last year. What do you see different for your team this year compared to last year's squad?
We worked on it a lot this summer. This was a point of emphasis. Everybody wants to pack the paint in on us. So we know we're going to be able to get open shots. It's a matter of taking the right open shots. We have players that are very capable of shooting it. I can't tell you how many thousands of shots they took this summer. And I mean, we were very honest with them on how you were going to earn playing time. So between being able to defend and shoot it from the perimeter, there's a lot of competition out there.
There's been a lot of talk about Detroit Mercy and the rebuild they're having to go through. Right now, we talked a little bit before the game. I talked to Katie Humphrey before the game. She said, listen, this team is going to be physical. They're going to try to punch us in the mouth. They absolutely did that. Your team responded, though. Is it good to have an early season aggressive test like that to really face some physicality? Because you're going to see a lot of that in the conference plan as well.
Yeah, I mean, I just got done talking to the team. We played a Youngstown game that was a MAC level, high level basketball game, right? And then today we played a completely opposite style of basketball in terms of the opponent. And they give Detroit a lot of credit. They played really, really hard. They battled for 40 minutes. They were incredibly physical in the paint. And we had to make that adjustment. So that's stuff that you want to see your team fight through adversity, right? And today we did that. There's a lot of stuff that we need to address. There's a lot of stuff that we need to correct, but all the things that we need to address are very fixable. A lot of it has to do with experience or lack thereof. And every game we get to play, every practice we get, we're only going to get better at.
Coach, we've seen a lot of new faces this year, obviously with people like Rainey, Thompson, and Austin. But today we saw Kendall Lewis come into the game and make a few great effort plays. What do you see her role being this season?
Yeah, Kendall is a very talented freshman that, you know, can play inside, can play outside, can shoot the three. You know, she's a bull in a china shop. You know, she goes in there and she's daring you to hit her because you're going to end up on the wrong end of it. I guarantee it. But what was impressive is that, you know, she hasn't got a lot of minutes, and, you know, she had a shoulder surgery this summer. She had a concussion 3 weeks ago. So she hasn't got a lot of practice time, but when she's been in practice, she's always been really good. And that's why, you know, I had the confidence to put her in and trust that she was going to make something positive happen. So, you know, when you're missing two starters at that post position, that's why you want to have that depth. So you can go to those guys and you can count on them in tough situations. And Kendall was absolutely huge for us today.
Maybe the two biggest deep shots of the game come from Danielle Rainey, your Florida transfer. Let's just put it simple. Is that what you expect when you get a high level transfer like that, to be able to put up big time shots and big time minutes?
Yeah. You know, she's had 3 games here, right? We had the exhibition against Concordia. We had the Youngstown game and where she just didn't get in a rhythm. And heading into this game, you know, we talked a lot. We had a lot of conversations about how to find her rhythm, how to take opportunities that the game permits her to get good shots. But, you know, she hit a huge 3 in the fourth quarter on something that we drew up out of a timeout. And she's very capable. She's one of the best shooters I've been around, and I've been around my fair share. But every time it comes off her hand, you feel like it's going in. And that's a good feeling to have a player like that on your roster.
I'll ask you a similar question we asked Ariana after the game. But no sugarcoating, you and I have had a lot of post-game conversations where a game's gone the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Late game, really close. Your team, though, tonight made all of the plays down the stretch, all the way at the end. I know that's a progression you've got to be incredibly encouraged by.
Yeah, you know, on Tuesday night, we had to get a stop, and we almost had the stop, and we didn't get the rebound. Tonight, I felt like we got every rebound in the last 5 minutes, and that's growth. You know, that's what you want to do in non-conference. You want to obviously win, but you want to prepare your team and your roster for conference play. And today we got a little bit better. We're going to go back and watch this film, and there's going to be so much to learn from. And we're going to come out and play our next game. And hopefully we continue to take steps. Hopefully we get a little bit healthier, and just continue to get our rhythm defensively. You know, you mentioned we're shooting the ball really well. That's great, but we've got to guard, and we'll keep working on it, and we'll get better at it. Of that, I'm certain.
You've been a coach for a long time. How good is it for a team just to get that first win off the back, a W on the score column, and then be able to move forward to think about those things that you're talking about?
You know, you want to be able to learn off wins, right? I thought our men had a huge, big time game last night, right? And they're going to get great film after a triple overtime win, right? Same thing for us. We want to be able to play these games. We want to learn by seeing how we're doing it wrong, next game, how we're doing it right. And then we nitpick on the next thing and how do we continue to progress. So sure, learning off wins is huge, but it's nice to see that we're not just necessarily making new, we're pushing them to learn new things, and that's progress.
Last one for you, especially because you mentioned it last night, great opening night for Stan Heath and his own opener. Tonight, another good atmosphere for your team. We talked a lot preseason about what it was going to be like to have people back to support. Now you've gotten to experience it in a game. You've gotten to see it as well. How much energy is it around the basketball program right now as a whole? And how important is that for your players to come out and see big crowds tonight, energy around both teams? Really just exciting time to be around basketball here.
Yeah, no, it's palpable, right? You can really feel it. You can feel it when we got to get stops. You know, you can feel it when the referees make some questionable calls. You can feel it when we make a big play. All that stuff matters, right? It's called home court advantage for a reason, because you want to get every call you can. You want to make every effort play you can. And if the fans aren't here, some of those unbelievable effort plays that our players made today, maybe they don't happen. I don't know, right? But it's nice to know that our kids get the support of our home fans, our student section, friends and family. We get to go home tonight, watch the film. They get to go home, talk to family and friends. And hopefully that just makes the crowd bigger and bigger every time we play. We got to put on a great performance for them every time we play at home. And I'm confident that as we continue to play home games, the crowds will just get bigger and bigger.
Coach, congratulations on the win. We'll talk to you on Thursday after great.
Thanks, Alex.